Hi, everyone. This is Dan Janal, your PR leader and book coach. I am delighted to welcome you to another session of Ask Me Anything about writing or promoting your books. This is the March 29th, 2019 edition, and I'm delighted to welcome you all here today. We have 4 questions so far. There might be others that come in during the call. So we will be spending no more than 30 minutes on this call, because I know you all have busy days, and how much time can you devote to anything? So I thank you for your patience and your attentiveness to coming. So let's see. Let's start off with an update from me. We're coming up on the 1-year anniversary of my book, Write Your Book in a Flash. This is my 13th book. It is getting great reviews. I want to thank everyone who has bought the book and who has reviewed the book. One person called it the Bible of nonfiction writing, which I thought was tremendous. So if you haven't bought the book, please do so. It's available on Amazon, and it is dirt cheap, which means I'm not going to make a whole lot of money on this book, but we're going to help a lot of people. And if you have bought the book and you like it, please do post something on Amazon, because reviews do help, and I'll go more into that because that does tie into one of the questions that we have today. I also invite you to listen to other answers that I have from other participants from previous sessions. You know, we do these calls once a month, usually the last Friday of the month. So check your emails to join and ask questions, or just listen in and hear what other people are asking. You can hear all the other answers on YouTube on my channel, which is called Write Your Book in a Flash, which is the name of my book, which gives you a hint about how to brand your book properly. Your book brand becomes your website brand, your Facebook group, which I have as well. So you can join my Facebook group at Write Your Book in a Flash. And that is a moderated group, so you're not going to get spammed or anything by other people trying to sell you stuff or any kind of garbage like that. So you want to be consistent with your marketing by using your book title for everything. That way your prospects remember what your book title is, which is cool. Okay. With that, I think that's all the housekeeping notes we have here. So I will start to answer your questions, and after I'm done with the questions, I'll see if there are any others that have come through by email, and I'll answer those, and then I'll open it up to follow-up questions in case you have any for your questions. So let's get started. Susan asks, my biggest concern is how to get it to best-selling status. Well, I'm going to give a flip answer. Sell lots of books. Of course, how do you sell lots of books? And for that, we could spend 8 hours talking about. But let me give you a couple of ideas here on what Amazon is looking for in a best-selling book. Now, best-selling book does not necessarily mean you're outselling Harry Potter and The Joy of Cooking and the latest keto recipe book. All these best-selling status symbols that you see are basically from people who have achieved #1 ranking in their category. And their category could be keto cookbooks or writing reference tools, which is where my book was #1 for a while. So it's really cool when it gets there. But remember, you want to find a niche that you can dominate. And it has to be a good niche. So you don't want to be in like, my book wouldn't be, say, alphabet. There actually is an alphabet category. But who's searching for alphabet? I don't know. Probably third-grade teachers or mothers of third-grade students. So that would not be a good category for me or for you. So think about what category is best for you. So how do you do that? Well, look for other books that compete directly with yours. And yes, there are books that compete directly with yours. Everyone likes to say their book is totally unique. I have news for you. You don't want to be a totally unique book, because people don't know how to look for totally unique books. They look for books in categories that they think they know about. So you want to be like the keto cookbook or whatever, but you're different because you're a keto cookbook for seniors or a keto cookbook for pregnant women or whatever. So you find your category that way. So you look for the other books, you see what categories they are in, and then you list your book in those categories. Next, you need to find out how many copies you need to sell to dominate that category. I use a tool called KD Spy, and I'll include that in the show notes. I'm an affiliate for it. I think it's a great program. It basically tells you how many books are selling, or how many copies of books are selling in relation to each other per month. So I can see that, my book is, say, the 17th best-selling book in writing reference tools. And I can see that, say, there are 34 books sold this month, and the leader in that category sold 56 books. I need to sell 57 books, one more than him, to be number one in that category. So this is the second step in your toolbox. Once you figure out what category you should be in, then you go see how many books you need to sell to be number one. Third step, you get all your friends together to buy the book on launch day. Now, this is the typical Amazon launch program strategy. You've probably seen it or been asked to be part of it. And it's real complicated because it has a lot of moving parts. I'll simplify it. Basically, you want to get all your friends to buy the book on a certain day. And if they do, then you'll sell more than the 57 books that are on the top of the category that day. And bingo, you're number one for that day, that minute, that time. Some people try to game the system by launching their book on the 4th of July or a Saturday or a Sunday when people aren't buying books, a major holiday kind of thing. And that works to a certain degree. But when I said it's complicated, it means that there are a lot of moving parts because you have to beg, borrow, steal, bribe, convince, cajole all your friends to do this on the same day, which frankly is a pain in the butt. And a lot of people have hired companies to do this for them at exorbitant prices, I might add, $10,000 or so. And believe me, there are very few people who are going to make $10,000 back on the sale of their books. So that's a losing proposition. You do not want to hire a company or a VA to do this for you. You will spend a lot more money than you'll probably ever make back unless you really have a true kick-ass book that really has a wide range of people who would be interested in buying it. So those are the three key things that I would say. But here's the other key point. Amazon knows what you're doing. They know that you and 15,000 other people are all getting all your buddies to buy the book at the same time and the same day so they can get the little banner and promote it. And they're happy to do that because they'll sell 50 more books or 100 more books times 1,000 more people. They're going to make a lot of money by you having your launch program, which is cool. But Amazon also wants to be an honest broker. They want to tell people what books are really hot. So while they're happy to say that you're the best seller for the July 4th or Memorial Day or New Year's Eve, they're not going to try to scam their readers into thinking that your book, which sold 50 copies in one day and no copies the next day, no copies the next day, is a true bestseller. So what they have done is that they have a moving 30-day average. So if you sell 30 books the first day and 20 books the third day and 10 books the fourth day and 5 books and 3 books and 2 books and 1 book, and you're selling consistently throughout the month, your book will actually rank higher in the long term than the person who gets all their friends to buy the book on one day and then there are no sales for the next 30 days or the next 30 years. That just falls off the face of the earth. My book is now 11 months old. It has been consistently in the top 10 or the top 20 in 3 really competitive categories. And I'm really happy for that. And I have to tell you, it has not sold zillions of copies, but it sells copies consistently. So I know that this algorithm actually does work. So in order to maintain your book as one of the top 10 or 20 books sold, you want to get your friends, or actually not your friends, you really want to get, real buyers, people on your lists, people who follow you to buy the book, on your speaking engagements and marketing and everything like that. So all that helps. The other thing that helps bestseller status are reviews. And I want to urge you to get people to review your book, pitch reviewers to review your book. You can find lists of people who review books on Amazon. You can see other people who reviewed your competitors' books. You might send them a pitch letter and say, hey, I noticed you reviewed the Keto Cookbook. How would you like to review my book, the Keto Cookbook for Pregnant Women? And if they do, that's great, and they post it on Amazon, and you get social proof that way. My book now has 41 reviews. which is a good number. Granted, there are books in my category that have 300 reviews, and Stephen King's book on writing has thousands of reviews, and it's been out for 25 years. So 40 looks good compared to someone who has 10 or 20 or 30, and people will buy a book based on reviews. They want to see what people are writing. They also want to see if there's a good number of reviews because that's social proof. So I hope those give you some ideas on how to get your book to the bestseller status so more people will buy your book, will be influenced by your good work, and that you'll make some money too, and you'll help to make the world a better place. Todd asks, I am interested in publicity, press releases as a way to grow my business, which is quite new. How does that work before a book is ready or before a book concept is fully formed? Perhaps discuss what can be done while still writing a book and how a book will complement publicity efforts. Okay, that's a great question. And as you know, I do run a publicity business, and we do write press releases and distribute press releases through PR Newswire, which is the top-rated press release distribution service. And the benefit of doing this is because Google will index those press releases. So when people are looking for your book or your topic or your name, there's a good chance it will come up on the first page of Google, of course, depending on how competitive your keyword is. But certainly your name as a keyword is probably not very competitive. If your name is Bob Smith, all bets are off. But if people want to do business with you, their chances are they're going to check you out on Google. They're going to type in your name or your business name and see what pops up. And chances are they'll see your website, which will say wonderful things about you because you wrote your website. Chances are it'll show your LinkedIn profile, which you wrote, and will say good things about you because you wrote it, of course. So they'll be looking for objective information as well. And that's where the press release could come in, because press releases are seen as more objective, believe it or not. And when it's printed somewhere, then it definitely is seen as having higher status than if it were just on your website. So you could run press releases before your book is printed to say that, Todd is writing a new book on this topic. And people are looking for this topic, might index your name, index your book, index your website, and check back when your book is done. They might be notified by a Google alert, which is an alert system that tells people when information about a certain keyword or topic comes to light. So those are some ways you could use PR on Google. You could also use the tear sheets from the media sites that print your press release, and we guarantee that your press release will be printed on at least 50 media websites, and usually more, but at least 50. So you can use those logos and those reprints in your marketing materials, on your website, in your sales kits, in your handouts, during your speeches, on your webinars, whatever, to say that your book was mentioned in this newspaper or that website or this television station or such like that. So those are ways that you can maximize press releases for your publicity. You also asked, can you do this before your book concept is fully formed? Yes, you can, because right now I don't know you, I don't know what your topic is, but let's say it was leadership. You could position yourself as an expert on leadership and say you're writing a book, and that way people are looking for information about leadership will start to index you and start to follow you. So that's how you can use a press release. So it doesn't matter if your book is fully formed, say you're to talk about leadership in the construction industry or leadership in the dental industry or leadership for millennials, whatever, that you can fine-tune later, or those could be chapters in your book and lists those possible ideas in your press release as well. So those are some other ideas. I hope that helps. Joan asks, I know that we're supposed to include multimedia in press releases. What's the best way to do that? Do you insert a video link? Okay, first of all, you don't need to include multimedia in press releases, but you have the option to include multimedia in press releases. So if you do, say, a video on YouTube or on your website, you can certainly include a link in the press release. You can include any number of links. Google doesn't care. PR Newswire doesn't care. Reporters want to see as much information as possible. So if you have 5 videos, put links to 5 videos in there. If you only have 1, that's fine. If you have none, that's okay too. Not write a press release because you don't have video up or multimedia or whatever. It's not totally expected, but if you have it, you can certainly tell the world about it. Here's a question from Alex. He asks, who should I use to edit my book? Great question. There are several different kinds of editors. You might be thinking about a copy editor or a proofreader. And if that's the case, there's a site called Reedsy, ReeDSY.com, that has a list of copy editors that they have vetted. So that might be a good way to start. There are different levels of editing, though. There are developmental editors, which is what I do, and it differs greatly from the copy editors. The copy editors are really the last stage person who reads your book before it goes to press. The developmental editor works with you while you're writing your book to look over your manuscript and show you what works and what doesn't work. For example, inconsistencies in your book, stories that you tell that don't prove the points that you think you are proving. Are the chapters in order or out of order? Are you saying what you think you are saying? So no one should write a book without having a developmental editor work with them to give them an honest feedback on what's working, what's not working, what's in the right shape, what's ready to go. I work with people in 2 ways on this. One, for people who've already written a first draft, I'll read the first draft and go over it and talk about all those things that I just did. You know, are chapters in order? Do you make your points? Is this essential? What's left out that people would want to read about? So that's one way. Then the second way is for people who haven't gotten to that first draft stage. I'll work with you to help you with the outline of the book, get your thinking straight, make sure that you're reaching the right audience with the right stories, with the right messages, so the book does what you want it to do. So that's the second way we can work together. The third way is after you've received the critique of the first draft, we'll work with you, or I'll work with you rather, to help you along the next stage of the book so you can revise it properly so it is ready to go to the copy editing and proofreading stage. So those are ways to find people to edit your book.
Susan, the question I have is, what else should we be paying attention to besides Amazon, or is Amazon really it now?
Amazon is really it. You know, they sell so many books. People's first thoughts are going to Amazon, and sure, Barnes and Noble are there and whatever. But if you're looking for other sources, your local bookstore, the local Barnes and Nobles, maybe they'll let you speak there. Independent bookstores in your community will let you speak, and you can usually sell some books there too. Obviously, speaking engagements are great for selling books. So I don't know what your topic is, but Joe, could you speak at a community center? Could you speak at a church? Could you speak at a Rotary Club? Other local groups like that would be good ways to sell, a few books here, a few books there.
Thanks.
Sure. You're welcome. Todd, do you have any follow-up questions?
Well, along those lines, what do you help authors get speaking engagements, or is there a process to that?
I don't help authors get speaking engagements. There is a service called Speaker Match that is a subscription service, and they will send you speaking leads from meeting planners, and the meeting planners will tell what they're looking for and how much they are paying and all that good stuff. So it's speakermatch.com. I'm an affiliate for them, but I obviously can't give you my link over the line, but I'll send it to you by email. And if you sign up, I might make a few bucks. I think they'll have. I think they either have or they used to have 1 month free or very, very reduced price for a month, so you could check it out and see if it's a good fit. But they're really the leaders in that kind of business. Yes. Okay. Great.
And
are there any other
follow-up
questions?
Question?
Sure.
Yeah, this is Todd again. I know you're good at helping take and find the topic and narrow it down to the niche, and I know you go through that a little bit in your book. But what other things can I do to really find my niche?
Okay. Are you talking about finding your niche before you're writing the book, or finding the niche
Yes.
on Amazon? Okay.
No, finding my niche before I'm writing the book.
Okay, great. Do you have a mailing list?
I'm developing one now.
Okay.
I'm new.
Okay, you're really new. Okay, great. Okay. The best way, here are two answers. Number one, when your list is developed, you can simply ask them. And I assume you're in business now anyway, so you can ask people as you're talking to them on the phone, what are your biggest problems? That's really the only reason why people buy a book. It's to solve a problem. So if you're talking to 10 people this month and they say, my biggest problem is X, you know that might be one topic for your book, or one chapter in your book. It may not be the whole book, but if you put 8 chapters together and you were solving 8 different problems, you're 80% done with the book, because the first chapter would tell people what the book is about and why you're an expert and why they should listen to you. And the last chapter, the 10th chapter, would be how they can work with you, because you've proven that you are the trusted advisor they should work with, because the other 8 chapters prove that point. So you need to find 8 ideas. So that's number one. The second way is to go to Amazon and look to see what books are really selling in your topic field. And you'll start to notice a pattern. And then look at the reviews for those books, because the reviews will tell you what they like, but they'll also tell you what's missing. So they might like X, Y, and Z, but they wish that this book could also address whatever. Or they say this book is really good, but it was written 5 years ago. I wish they would update their ideas. So look for those little nuggets in the reviews, because that will tell you what the book buying public is interested in reading about that the current books don't have. So those are 2 ways to find out good ideas. The third way, of course, is go to Google and just type in keywords about your topic and let Google fill it in. So like if you type leadership trends, they might say leadership trends in construction, or leadership trends for millennials, or leadership trends for whatever. Or just type the word leadership, and it will auto-fill in what it thinks you are looking for, and that will show you what is trending. You can also type in your topic and the word trends, and that will show you ideas about what's going on, and probably see articles from other people and other bloggers who are writing about these things too. So between all those ways, you'll get lots of ideas.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Are there any other questions? Okay, well, thank you very much for coming today. I promised I would keep this to under 30 minutes, and I have. Check back next month. We'll do the emails again a few days before this call, so you can ask me anything, and I'll be happy to tell you everything I know about that topic in 30 minutes or less. Also, you can go to my YouTube channel and hear other answers from previous questions. That's the Write Your Book in a Flash YouTube channel. Just go to YouTube and type Write Your Book in a Flash, and you'll see 30 or 40 other questions, and these questions will be posted sometime over the weekend. So thank you very much, and good luck with your books. Take care. Bye.
Thank you.
Michael Johnson.
You're welcome. Thank you.